BAM scrambles to replace slippery court mats that caused Lee Chong-wei's injury. Police play hide and seek on serial rapist return. I'm Daniel Bakri with Cuppa News. National shuttler Dato' Lee Chong-wei's pursuit for his fourth All-England title is now in tatters after he tore a ligament on his left knee at the new training ground. The spanking new training centre for national badminton players is filled with issues, as proven by the unfortunate incident that happened to Lee during training last Saturday. He slipped and fell on the slippery mats at the court. An MRI examination showed that the 34-year-old three-time Olympic silver medalist had torn his medial collateral ligament. He is going to miss the All-England Championship in March, but good news is that the injury is not as serious as he thought. The incident is a major disappointment for Lee, as he is eager to repeat his success in the oldest badminton tournament, which he has won 3 times. Lee said BAM could have prevented the incident if it had listened to his request to change the slippery mats. He said he had told his coach Hundrawan about the slippery condition, which caused problems for other players as well. Hundrawan then informed BAM, but nothing was done to rectify the problem. Meanwhile, BAM General Manager Lawrence Chew said he had received orders to change the mats, which had been replaced immediately on 3 of the 18 courts. He said BAM was sorry about Lee's injury and assured no one would get hurt after this incident. The players and BAM office have just moved from Jawara Stadium to the training ground in less than a week. Notorious serial rapist Selva Kumar Subia is back in Malaysia after being deported from Canada. The 57-year-old arrived at KLIA around 7 a.m. today and managed to dodge members of the press who had been waiting for his arrival since Monday evening. Selva Kumar was escorted on his flight by 3 Canadian Border Security Agency officers. Upon disembarkation, he was met by Bukit Aman officials from the Sexual Crime Unit to have his statement recorded and released. Media personnel at the arrival hall, however, saw no sign of the man as he used an alternative exit. FMT reported that he was picked up by his older brother, who distributed copies of these photos to the media. The news portal also said that the Penangite may remain in KL for the time being. Meanwhile, the Sabah Chief Minister issued a statement that the convicted serial rapist would be barred from entering the state. Describing Selva Kumar as a high-risk individual, Datuk Sri Musa Aman said Sabah decided to declare him persona non grata as he posed a danger to the public, especially women and children. Selva Kumar went to Canada as a student in 1980 and his visa was extended after he was sponsored by a spouse. He was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting dozens of women in the late 1980s and early 90s and served a 24-year jail term in Toronto. Former UMNO politician and minister Dato' Zahid Ibrahim joined DAP this morning in his latest political adventure after having brief stints with 3 political parties. Shortly after announcing his membership to DAP at a press conference held at his house, Zahid received a kind reminder from his new opposition allies to not be a frog.
Banyak dalam negara kita ini keturunan kata. Kata ni dia pandai lompat. Dia lompat ke sana, dia lompat ke sini. Gaya nak cukup dia saja, dia dah lepas. Inilah kata. Sifat kata patut kita ketepikan dalam parti lawan dan insyaAllah dengan itu kita dapat menyelamatkan negara kita semula.
The former Prime Minister hoped Zahid will stay in DAP, while Lim Kit Siang assured Zahid is a team player.
Kalau ada satu defect, ialah dia boleh perlu berjari memainkan peranan sebagai team player, bukan prima donna. Zahid Ibrahim boleh menjadi team player dan bukan prima donna, betul?
At the same conference, Kit Siang also rebuked a TV3 reporter for questioning his stance on the Bumiputra Malaysia finance scandal involving Dr. Mahathir during his tenure.
Where are you from?
TV3.
Huh?
TV3.
Exactly. TV3 is a maker of false news and fake stories. And we expect journalists to uphold journalistic ethics. Why are you becoming a positive view of truth? Why? Can I explain? Why TV3 continue to tell lies?
I'm asking you.
No, I'm telling you. Alright, you say I spoken differently. Tell me how I've done differently. I'm not. I said I stood by every word that I said. You don't understand that? You understand simple English? Great, okay. So every word I said in my books, I stand by it. Alright? What more you want me to say? No, alright. So how have I said differently? So please, TV3. TV3 become provide genuine news.
Dr. Mahathir also said he welcomed calls by the UMNO youth demanding for a royal commission of inquiry to investigate Bank Negara Malaysia's foreign exchange market losses in the early 90s. He, however, said that the issue of forex losses and whether Bank Negara went bankrupt in 1991 was raised to divert attention away from current concerns.
They are welcome to do so, but we want the same kind of commission to look into $2.6 billion in annuals in Najib's account, and what happened to one MDB money. Don't try to hide by referring to something that occurred 40 years ago. See, this is just trying to divert attention. I don't care for such people.
Meanwhile, the family of 4 who perished in a fire at their house in USJ Subang Jaya, Selangor, informed neighbors and passers-by that the funeral will be held in Butterworth, Penang. Many residents in the area today visited the house, which was partially burnt in the early morning fire yesterday. They placed paraphernalia, beer, incense sticks, and flowers outside the house for the departed souls. The only daughter left in the family was back at the house to collect the victims' belongings. The remains of Lim Ah Kok, his wife Goh Bee Kim, and their 2 sons Lim Yong Liang and Lim Yong Wei were sent back to their hometown in Butterworth last night. The complaint box is not a new thing in schools and has been around since 2010. The Education Ministry and police have revived it and are making sure this time the students will utilize it to report problems they face, even criminal activities involving their peers. After a student lodges a report, the school will channel it to the school's liaison police officer.
Cumanya melalui program Jom ke Sekolah ini, kita merupakan satu usaha kita untuk membugarkan semula penggunaan peti aduan dalam kalangan murid. Kita mengharapkan agar kita dapat mengetahui apa yang ingin disampaikan oleh pelajar-pelajar, sebab ada kalanya pelajar-pelajar ini dia malu nak bercakap sendiri tentang apa juga perkara yang ingin dikongsi bersama untuk pengetahuan cikgu-cikgu untuk diambil tindakan dan sebagainya. Bagi pihak sekolah, kita tidak pernah berhadapan dengan sebarang masalah untuk berhubung dengan pihak pegawai perhubungan sekolah, dan kita sentiasa berbincang dengan bersama mereka, dan mereka juga sentiasa datang ke sekolah secara berkala untuk mengetahui apakah masalah-masalah yang mungkin dihadapi oleh pihak sekolah.
Schools say they will inform the students at assemblies from time to time to make them aware of such complaint boxes in the school compound. The schools say even complaints on teachers will be dealt with without bias and prejudice, and students have welcomed the revival of the complaint box.
Pada pandangan saya mengenai peti aduan sebenarnya banyak mendatangkan kebaikan kepada pelajar. Pelajar dapat meluahkan pandangan mereka untuk penambahbaikan sekolah dari segi disiplin, dari segi pengajaran guru, dari segi pembelajaran persekitaran di sekolah. Peti aduan ini dapat membantu pihak sekolah dengan lebih mengenali lagi apa masalah yang dihadapi, kena buli ke sebagainya, masalah tak faham ke.
In other news, the Rohingya refugees who fled Myanmar and are staying in Cox's Bazar district, Bangladesh, hope that the UN and Bangladeshi governments will provide them with much-needed education. Some refugees are conducting basic lessons in English and Bengali for the growing Rohingya population there.
আমরা এখানে শিক্ষার সুযোগ সুবিধা পাইছি না, কারণ এখানে আমরা রেজিস্টার এখন আমরা সবাই মিয়ানমার জাতি, তাহলে আমাদের এখানে কোনো সুযোগ সুবিধা নাই। আমরা কোনো কষ্টের বিনিময়ে এখানে লেখাপড়া করছি, এখানে সিরিফ ক্লাস 4 পর্যন্ত লেখাপড়া করা যায়, তারপর করা যায় না।
Muhammad Imran said if the Rohingya people are educated, they will become useful resources for Bangladesh and will contribute to the country's development. A Malaysian-led ship carrying 2,300 tons of aid is heading to Yangon and eventually Bangladesh, where the goods will be distributed to the Rohingya people at settlements in Teknaf. However, this afternoon, the mission received the latest order from the Bangladeshi government to not enter Teknaf, as the water there is shallow and there are security problems in the area. The organizing committee chief, Datuk Sri Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahim, said it will be a stumbling block if they are not allowed entry. In world news, China says its population is expected to reach about 1.42 billion by 2020. The country's National Health and Family Planning Commission statistics showed that at the end of 2015, China had a population of about 1.37 billion. The commission said the annual natural population growth rate will be around 6 per thousand, while the gender ratio at birth is expected to be reduced to 112 boys for every 100 girls by 2020. US President Donald Trump has ramped up his criticism of federal judge James Robart, who blocked a travel ban on citizens from 7 mainly Muslim nations. In his tweets, Trump attacked the country's judiciary, saying that if anything happened, Americans should blame Robart and the court system. He said, quote, "I have instructed the Department of Homeland Security to check people coming into our country very carefully. The courts are making the job very difficult," end quote. Last week, Robart issued a temporary restraining order on the ban. The Trump administration filed an appeal that was rejected by the appeals court, but the administration said it would prevail and win the legal battle. Rapper Kanye West appeared to have deleted his tweets about his meeting in December 2016 with Trump in a move seen as a sign of no support for the president. West's tweets from their meeting at Trump Tower are now missing from his account. West emerged as one of Trump's most high-profile supporters during Trump's election campaign. This cute newborn fennec fox has emerged from its nesting box and is now exploring its habitat at Taronga Zoo in Sydney, Australia. The baby fox, born in December, has no name yet, and zookeepers have also not revealed its sex. But one thing for sure is that it is the first fox kid born at the zoo since 2013. The fox, which became a hit with over 6,000 likes on Facebook, is now fed on solid food, including crickets, mealworms, and mice. That's a wrap for Cuppa News. Thanks for watching and good night.